What's up, YouTube? My name's Robert. I'm gonna try and make this is gonna be my vlog, whatever you call it. And so here I am, walking around, talking on my phone, looking weird. Anyway, going through a divorce right now, and so I thought I'd post a couple of things, kind of make my experience, what's happening. Right now, divorce hasn't been finalized, but I guess we're on about month 3, being separated. And here in Texas, you gotta wait 60 days before you can actually finalize divorce. And so that's kind of where we're at. It's been at least 60 days, actually, probably been more than 60 days. And so, hasn't been easy. I wasn't really ready for it. Didn't think it was gonna happen, wasn't sure. I knew things weren't going exactly right, but I thought they were getting better. Apparently I was wrong. When it happened, I wasn't prepared for it. You know, it was, I actually thought things were getting better, but I guess according to my wife, they weren't. Or soon-to-be ex-wife, I should say. So I guess one of the first questions people might ask is how they come about, what happened. And everybody's got their own story. You know, I know it. Not everybody's separation, divorce, or whatever, or life change is all has the same root cause to it. And I really couldn't tell you. I know it's a culmination of a number of things. Some of which are, I have to own. Some of them hers. I've got 3 kids, 2 daughters, 1 son. The 2 girls we adopted in 2012. You know, I didn't start having kids till later in life. I was 38 years old, and we had my son. It was difficult. We tried everything to have a second child, but it just wasn't happening. So we decided to go through adoption, and we ended up doing foster to adopt. And so we adopted my 2 girls, and they're just like my biological daughters. And so we went through that, bought a new house, a bigger house, more expensive house, paying on 2 cars, got solar panels, all kind of stuff. Financially, things were strained somewhat. Not that we couldn't take care of it, but it was a strain. And I don't know, I guess, people start eventually drifting apart. And I guess that's kind of what happened. And so, about 3 months ago, she handed me the papers. Said she wanted a divorce. I was initially stunned. I was like, okay. She left town, took the kids to go visit with her father. I understood. I went back to the house, gathered some things, stayed in bed all day. Went on ahead and moved out. Stayed in bed for most of that weekend. And I'm going to tell you, it's like a death in the family. That's the best way I can explain it. It's like somebody died. I guess because you're seeing that life that you thought you were going to live. And all of a sudden it's gone. And you're left wondering what's going to happen next. What am I going to do? Where do you go from here? You know, I had in my mind where I thought my life was going, but on the turn of a dime, everything changed. Everything. You know, no longer was my life going in the direction that I thought it was going to go. And so it's taken me a few months. First, I guess you go through the stages. You don't, first of all, at least for people guys in my situation, when they didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, maybe you had an idea, you knew things weren't going exactly right, but you didn't think it was going to actually lead to a divorce. You're in shock. You like, what just happened there? And so I remember literally just trying to survive moment to moment. I couldn't think 10 minutes into the future. I didn't know what I was going to do 5 minutes from where I was at. Did a lot of walking around, driving around, trying to find little small goals to at least focus on something else other than what was happening. And it was hard. You know, being away from my 3 kids, first of all. I had never really been away from my 3 kids for more than a few hours at a time. So that was the hardest part. I remember my wife had gone to visit with her mom and stepdad. They live out of the state. And so they were gone for about 3 weeks, which I understood. I was like, you know, you gotta be with family at this time, and she doesn't have anybody where we live. I've got family from where I live. But man, that 3 weeks was the toughest 3 weeks I've ever had. Because I just didn't have my kids with me. I was literally going insane. I didn't know what to do with myself. The one thing I knew is I couldn't become destructive and just have this idea that, well, I can do anything I want right now. But would you want to do anything you want? I mean, sometimes that's not the best idea. And so when they came back, you know, and I got to be with the kids, and as things went on, I realized, you know, my life wasn't going to come to a complete end. And so now it's just me trying to figure out, where do I go from here? And right now it doesn't seem as dire as it did initially. But I'm still trying to figure things out. I haven't gotten it all figured out. Am I gonna rent an apartment? Am I gonna rent a house? Am I gonna buy a house? What do I do with this free time that I have when the kids aren't there? And these are all questions I'm gonna have to answer for myself. I know it's not gonna be easy, but I have taken some steps. I've been going to counseling for over a year now. Because I knew we were having problems even before this, so it's not like it was anything new. And so I started going to counseling over a year ago, trying to make improvements. However, I thought things were getting better, and they weren't, obviously. But I'm still going to counseling, just because I need to talk to somebody, not beat up on myself, have somebody with an outside perspective on what I'm having to deal with. And so there's other steps that I'm taking, which I guess I'll get into later on, not right now. it's gonna be a process for me, and so that's why I'm doing this. I don't know what's gonna happen with my YouTube channel. I don't know if I'm gonna be that popular. I don't even know if anybody's gonna watch this. But right now it's just for me. So if this helps you in some way to at least know that somebody else is going through things that you might be going through, that you're not the only one, that you're not alone, then hopefully it's a benefit.